Okay, I'm working on this 45 muffler thing I made up. So I'm going to put some holes here in the end of it to get more breathing. Make the exhaust run a little bit better and sound louder too, make it sound better. It's pretty quiet. So I'm going to go ahead and put a hole right here, hole in between, and I'll come over here and put two holes on this other side, and that'll should give me a pretty good look. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these holes in here and see what we got to deal with. I got this all supported right here, so it should stay, shouldn't move. And we don't want to screw up our sticker any, so you got to be careful. That didn't work too good. Alright. Tighten up a little bit more this time. Let's see if we actually moved here. I'm going to take it apart and check see if it moved. Okay. Recenter this up right now here. So that goes, reamer goes all the way through. We'll use that to center up our tube here. So I got that in there. Got that to go down all the way. And we wound up moving at 30 thou on the one side and 1.4 on the other. So I got to be careful when I poke it all the way through. It doesn't take much to move this because I'm not holding this by very much pressure because of the being a piece of tube. I don't want to squash it. I definitely don't want to hurt my sticker any, so you got to be careful. So I'm going to do this by, I'm going to hold this in my other hand so it doesn't move as much. So no video like this. Okay, holding on with my other hand, it drilled through nice and easily. It didn't bind up like it did the first time. So it goes right on through there like that. You had to drag it a bit. So I went ahead and cleaned up the 3 holes, or 2 of them anyway. So now I got to drill all the way straight through, so I'm going to use a 7/16 drill bit for that. Grab me a drill bit here. Let's see, should be 7/16, maybe. Yep, that looks good. Alright, so now we just take this and we'll run it right down our hole here. And run it all the way through the bottom. So I have to move my block here out of the way. So I'll do that and then we can come back and look at it again. Alright, there's the hole all the way through the bottom now. So go ahead and both did those 2 holes. So we're up to 7/16 now. And this here is our 1/2 inch reamer. And that's what this hole is right through here. So I'll go ahead and pull out this drill chuck and go ahead and run the reamer all the way straight through, and that'll finish up these holes here. Being on the milling machine, I can move these holes precisionally back and forth, so I always know where I'm at. So it gives me a better accuracy of what I'm doing. There's our 1/2 inch reamer. We ran it all the way through. We had to step ream it, so we had to put this one in here, which is a 32nd under the 1/2 inch and a 32nd over 7/16. So put that in there, drill it right through, or reamed it through. So now we got our 3 holes all lined up. They're all the same height, same spacing, equally spaced. And we're on a 3/4 inch drill center. So this is 1.5 inches apart and 3/4 inches in the middle. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip this around 90 degrees. And then I'll go ahead and punch 2 more holes up here on the top. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, here's our quick and simple way of centering this up. Basically we got the reamer in the hole here. It's a good tight hole. So you just eyeball this along the vise top here, and it looks pretty even. So that'll get you within 1 degree. And then over here, we have our drill sitting in here, and we just eyeball it between the 2 holes, and that'll get us pretty close. So, but the problem, I want to make sure that I stay off my sticker up here, so I might have to cheat and go this, move it this way here a little bit. So right now I'm going to go ahead and zero up my digital readout there, and I'm going to go ahead and offset it about 100 thou, see what it looks like. There's 100 thou offset, so you can see it. And see, now we're going to have a little bit of a gap right here, which is what I'm wanting to see because I want to get my sticker damaged. So I'll go ahead and swap this out and put the reamer up in here because it's full round, and see what that looks like and determine my hole pattern. Alright, I got my reamer in here now. This is the hole size, 1/2 inch. And we have our 100 thou offset, which is roughly about all the gap we got to my sticker. So if we put it right there, that's where we're going to be. So we got 100 thou up here in our number. So if I go ahead and change, we're on a 3/4 bolt pattern or hole pattern, so we're going to go ahead and move it over 750 plus 100 is 850. And that'll be our hole, where the hole should go through. The first one anyway. There's 850. And this will tell us how close we are to our edge over here. And see if we like where we're at. So it looks kind of goofy on our hole pattern down here being off that amount. So I gotta determine if I want to live with that or not. The other thing I did when I re-zeroed the numbers up there, I lost my center line because I moved it. So I got to re-establish that. So I'm not sure if I like that right there or not. It kind of wanted to have it in the same spot I had it before. So I might cheat slightly. I'm good at cheating. So if we take this and put this at 50, so we go up here and we go 50 over. Right there. Come down and look at it. Just a neutral so we can see. Yep, right there. I think I can live with 50 next to my sticker. It shouldn't be too awful bad. I think we'll be alright with that. You don't notice so much offset now in our hole pattern. And in the next hole I can either use the same 3/4 dimension, or I can cheat and bring it back 25 thou, which is half of our difference here. You can notice 25 thou difference in this hole pattern here pretty easily, so it'll be very noticeable. So I'll probably just leave the same number, that way it's the same dimension all the way around. So that one would be right there. And our next dimension would be 50 and 750, and that'll be 800 instead of 850. So there's 800. So that would be right to here. So that doesn't look too bad. Zero out my wire. So I'll go ahead and bring this over and then drop it down and see what I think. Make sure I don't hit the back side here when I'm dropping down. So our hole pattern is going to be off by that much, which isn't too awful bad. It's noticeable to me, but a lot of people might not be able to see that small difference. But that's what's going to save the edge of our sticker by doing that, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay, so I'm going to live with that. I like that number. So we're going to drill on our 800 number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and leave that at that number. And I'm going to go back and set my center dimension. Roughly I had it about right there. It's hard to move all these levers and keep the camera where you can still see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to go over here and look at the hole. Turn the light on this time. And you look at your hole pattern, you can see how it looks like that we are got more of a gap on this side than this side, so we're off by a little bit. So we just go ahead and crank it over just a little bit. Spin our piece here. And just kind of move it over by hand. And you can see now how it looks pretty equal on that side and this side. Give it a little bit more. See, you'd think this is being pretty anal about it, but when you drill a hole pattern, you can really see the differences real quick. So I actually moved it over 40 thousandths, 39.4. That's the difference between looking at the top up here and actually getting somewhere you can really see a center. So there's the differences. So now if you really want to get picky about it, you can actually take a drill bit, like one of these big ones here, and stick it in here. And you can see how when you put the reamer flat, so the reamer is going straight. See, our drill bit is almost dead straight. You go on the other side and you can see how it's pretty close too. But not, yeah, it's actually pretty damn close. It might be a thou off. Because if I move this wheel just a tick, that was 3 thousandths movement. And you look at the angle of your bit, and you can notice that it's a little bit different. It's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and split my difference. That was 3.5 thou. We'll just drop it down to 1 thou and recenter. So you can get pretty close by just doing little stuff like this. So I'll put that back away. If you just leave stuff laying around, you forget where you had it. So that's how you do this stuff. You can get pretty darn close with your eyeballs without having anything fancy. And it goes pretty quick that way too a lot of times. So the other number we know is at our 850 number. Or 800, excuse me. We changed it from 850 to 8. Helps remember what you're doing. Oop, wrong dial. A little tenth of a thou don't mean nothing, but I'm picky. Oop, too far. Oh, there's my 8. There you gotta be right on the money. If you don't do it right, why do it? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and punch a hole right through there. So I'm going to take out this reamer, throw in my drill chuck, and throw in my drill chucks there. Let's pull this back a little bit. And we're going to put our center drill in there. We'll use our drill chuck for that. Then we'll go ahead and put our drill in it, our 7/16 drill, and run it all the way through the whole thing. Then we come back and put our reamer in here, which step reams us up one size, and then we come back here with a 1/2 inch and run it through. And we do that for both of those 2 holes. So I'll go ahead and do all that right now, and then I come back and show you what I did. Okay, we got our 2 holes in there now. There, we got our 3 on the side. Looks pretty even. So, look pretty good. There's the numbers we had, right on the money, right where I want them. So go ahead and flip that off because we're not using it no more. Pull this out. And there's what it looks like right now. Get our turds on here. So there we go. So we put that on the bike. We'll put the sticker up where we can see it, and we'll have our holes blowing out all the way around. So it gives you a good balanced look to it. So I can go ahead and deburr these holes a little bit, and I'll use a combination of things to do that with. Let's see what I want to use here. I can do it with balls like this, which don't work too good on round tubing because it's not round. So more likely I'll just take it and I'll use my little wiggler tool here, which basically just goes around a circle like this and cuts it out. So we'll see how that works. If I don't like that, I'll come up with some other way of doing it. So anyway, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass doing all those holes, but you have to clean up to look a lot bigger. Got to go in and grind the inside out to be able to get in there. There's the light. So I went in with a die grinder and clean out the inside of this thing. A bunch of burrs in there. So now it's all opened up. So looks pretty good. So I'm going to throw a little bit of paint right here on the tip. Stay off my sticker there, and then it'll burn in as we run the bike. So throw a little bit of paint on the outside edge here too. So I'll tape this off a little bit or do something there to protect it. So I'm going to go ahead and put some paint on that and get this thing ready to go on the bike. Alright, there's our muffler on the bike now. Some paint on that one. Looks pretty close to the other pipe. Do a little jockeying around to get some clearances back here. It was real close to the tire back here, so I had to move it out a little bit. Get my clamps in here. So we gained a little bit of a exhaust clearance, oil pump clearance now. Still got our clearance right here. Really close, but we're not hitting. Definitely is close though. And got that all tied up in there, so everything's fitting. So got that all done. Had to bend my kicker arm here a little bit to get it to be straight. It was kind of angled like downhill here a little bit. So I went ahead and flattened it out a bunch right here to bring it in because I didn't want it out so far, and straighten it. And then I had to come back right here just a little bit to bring it back down because I had overbent too far. So now it fits good on the bike and doesn't stick way out too far. And you can see how our muffler is right there. Looks pretty good. So all lines up good. Shouldn't blow too much of the exhaust onto the bike. The holes are going at 45 degrees right now, so it's going to blow upwards and not outward, not directly into the tire. So that should be good. We got our hooker up there, we can see it. So when you're standing up here gawking at the bike, you'll see it real good. So that makes it look nice. So yeah, that's where that all is there. We got some pretty good chain clearance here, so chain will have to get pretty loose before it hits down that low, but it probably will, but it'll have to go a long ways down to hit it. So anyway, there it is all buttoned up, and it's ready to light off again for test firing. We'll put our dummy oil tank up on it and light it off. See what it sounds like. It's been about 1.5 years now. So anyway, that's where we're at now.
I do that to camera.
Yeah, you broke it. So we're working on our headlight bucket here for our twin headlight bike up here. So we'll up this conical shaped washer here and weld it all in. And now it matches the top of this. So now you can slide this back and forth up in here to whatever you need it to be. You can rock it back and forth to level it out. See what is in there. So right now we're working on our other one. And we got our conical washer right here that goes up underneath to match under there. Now we work on the other one. Use the same setup I use. Whatever it takes.
Yeah. Alright. Turn that up to like...
Should we use a stainless rod on this one too? How much? 70 is what we're at right now.
Up to 80.
80 ampere. Yeah, that's about 80, give or take. You can't see shit when you do that. Yeah, it does not work. So he's welding that on the inside of it right now, the other bucket. And we made up to stamp that out on the big press. But anyway, playing around with this thing a little bit, among other things. We're also working on the oil lines for it, shift rod lines. Trying to figure out how to make all this linkage and stuff work. This here's a welding bung built underneath the gas tank. Right here. Go back up in that area there. We're gonna have another line coming out of here, which is the old hand plunger pump. Now got to be a vent line. This will be our return line, and this here's our feed line. All three lines would come across the top here, and then go across here. And the gas line's going to come through here and go as our carburetor. And then the shifter has to clear everything. Right now our inner primer is too far in, so I'm probably going to cut this bracket off. Move it inward about a 1/4 inch, the primer will come out a 1/4, which will get it off the side of the battery box. It also allows us to put our shift rod down in here where there's no room in there right now for it. Lots of little pieces we're going to make. So right now he's over there welding it right now. So there's where we're at. How to weld?
Well, it's alright. I did a better job on this one because my welding's better, but it's gonna work.
My welder's better than your welder? You just have better practice.
It's gonna work.
It rolls up on there like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Good deal. Clean up some more. Alright, there's our twin lights up on there now. Got one all welded up on there now. A little bit of a downhill angle so you can see with it. Definitely looks better than those standoffs, those stupid things they had on there. So, that's what they look like. Smile, you're on Canon camera.
We could only find a screw.
And there they go. Look good.